Should pastors speak about politics from the pulpit? Well, on the one hand, they can't help it. Because every time you refer to King Jesus as King of Kings, Jesus is Lord. That is a political statement. Think of Psalm 2 where it says, be wise, O rulers of the earth, be warned, O nations. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry. Well, who are the nations? Well, he's not talking about Israel there. He's talking about the nations, Babylon, Assyria, Egypt, China, Russia, America. Right? So we have a message that goes to the nations and their kings. So every time a pastor gets into the pulpit, he makes a political statement, right? A deeply partisan statement. I heard Michael Horton once put it in terms of Christ versus Antichrist, right? Okay, but that's not quite what you're asking. You're asking, should he endorse a candidate? Should he endorse a policy? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Yes, whenever there is a clear, direct line, I'm borrowing from an author named Robert Benet right now, a clear, direct line between the biblical principle or the biblical text and a particular matter of morality or politics or even policy. If there's a clear, direct line, yes, he should address that. You shall not murder. Abortion is taking the life of a child. Speak to that. All humans are created in God's image. Racism is wrong, right? Okay, clear, direct line. Whereas many political issues, in fact, I'd say most political issues are more what Benet calls jagged line. Think of healthcare, think of tax policy. Well, there you might bring biblical principles to bear in your own personal thinking about how you get from here to here to here to here to come to this policy decision. But those are areas where I think Christians need to allow each other freedom to disagree. And so pastors need to be very careful. In fact, I'd even just say not bind consciences where the Bible doesn't clearly bind a conscience, or where by good and necessary implication, to borrow from the Westminster Confession, the Bible would bind consciences. So straight line issues, yes. Jagged line issues, no. I talk about that a lot more in my book, How the Nations Rage. I get into this quite a bit.